This is Leap the Dips, and it was the oldest operating roller coaster in the world. Located at Lakemont Park in Altoona, Pennsylvania, it is a reminder of America's pastime. It signifies good old-fashioned American ingenuity. And up until 2024, this thing was still in operation. It only opened with limited operating hours, basically on the weekends. This roller coaster is an American coaster enthusiast landmark, meaning it's been recognized by ACE as a historical coaster. What's going on, everyone? My name is Rich. This is Theme Park Motivation. And of course, it's been a while since we've heard any updates on Leap the Dips. I did reach out to this park, and they did contact me back and informed me that this coaster would definitely be down for the entire 2025 season. Not the answer I was hoping to hear, but it was to be expected. Basically, I'm going to talk about this coaster's future and what I think needs to happen with this coaster, but I want to talk about where this coaster needs to go, because this is a historical coaster, and I believe that this park is doing this coaster a major disservice by not running it and letting it just sit there and rot. When I went to go and ride this thing back in 2023, unfortunately, it was down for the day. That's a pretty common thing at this park. They have 3 roller coasters. All 3 of them are just sitting there rotting. One, of course, is just a tiny little kiddie coaster. The other coaster, Skyliner, which also has some historical value as well. If another park was interested, I believe both of these coasters could be rehomed. Unfortunately, with Leap the Dips, it may be a little more complicated than just another park being interested in buying this coaster. Back in 1996, the National Park Service added Leap the Dips to the National Register of Historic Landmarks. So I don't think it's going to be quite that simple to just dismantle this coaster and move it to a different park. With that being said, I think there's some history about this park that I want to talk about before I talk about some of the options that they have with this coaster, as well as discuss what I think needs to happen. Lakemont Park was once a thriving park. It opened back in 1894 as a trolley park. It became an amusement park in 1899. It is considered the 8th oldest amusement park in the United States. Back in the 80s, the Boyer Candy Company purchased the park, renaming it Boyertown, USA. They only owned the park for a couple of years. The park once closed during the 2017 to 2018 season, but then it reopened in 2019. The park has since sold off many of their different attractions. When I visited this park back in 2023, you got the sense that they really didn't care to be an amusement park anymore. Currently, the park is owned by Lakemont Park Center LLC. What I really think needs to happen is they either need to get some investor to come in and refurbish this park, adding new attractions to bring in more guests, or they just totally need to sell this park. I'm not sure if it's owned by the township or the town or what the deal is there. However, if they sold it to somebody with the interest, this park could be a decent park. There is a lot of potential, and it is a beautiful area. That to me is the most feasible 2 things that this park could do: get an investor or sell the park outright to somebody who actually wants to take care of an amusement park. But if that can't happen, obviously the top priority is Leap the Dips and making sure that this coaster lives on. But if there is some hurdles that this park would have to go through in order to sell Leap the Dips, obviously it wouldn't be a cheap thing. This coaster would have to totally be dismantled and well taken care of and then rebuilt in a different location. But a park that I could see that would be willing and up for the task would be Knoebels. They're no stranger to wooden coasters, and in fact they have a museum at the park, so obviously they care about the history, and when you go on any of their wooden coasters, they're very well taken care of. Phoenix as well as Twister. This park knows how to take care of its wooden coasters. I don't think there's anybody that would argue that. Obviously, Leap the Dips is not made for capacity, so I could see that being an issue at a place like Knoebels. However, if it was an upcharge attraction just to get one of these cool little tickets that says, hey, I rode the oldest wooden roller coaster in the world, there are some options for this park. It's all about them just doing the right thing, because I think holding on to this thing and just letting these coasters rot is an absolute shame. So I really hope that that's not what ultimately happens here. Another thing that could happen is the American Coaster Enthusiast Club could get involved like they did once before, raising the funds to getting this coaster restored. They did this back in 1999, raising about $1 million to get Leap the Dips completely restored. But is this really something that they're going to want to invest money in, being the fact that they invested $1 million in this thing a little over 20 years ago, and the park really hasn't operated it a whole lot since? Even when the park was open in 2022, 2023, the park still saw very limited hours, only operating its coasters on the weekends. I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks. Do you think this coaster should go to a place like Knoebels, or even a place like Waldameer? There's no doubt that those two parks take care of their wooden coasters, and they would give Leap the Dips the best home possible. But be sure to comment below, because I always love to hear what everybody else thinks. Thanks so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Please be sure to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button.